today I've got a few things that I'm looking to do. Firstly, I've been on Google Maps been planning out a kind of a good ride out, and I've put that all together. Good route goes from Farnborough through down to Newlands Corner, then down into Horsham, back along to Midhurst, and then back up to Farnborough again. And I reckon it's about 110 miles, something like that. It looks on Google Maps like it should be some good roads, but wanted to give it a ride, see what it is really like. But also, I'm trying out a new app called Moto Maps, which is run by a developer. It's not a freebie, but it's only about £1 or something, to plot tracks and routes for motorcyclists. Because the one thing with Google Maps on my iPhone is that it's a brilliant navigation tool, going point to point in the fastest way, and I use it loads and loads, but you can't plot routes via destinations. So if I want to go from A to C, I have to go the quickest way from A to C that Google Maps tells me. It won't direct me to go A to C via B. And so I'm going to try this app, because I'd like to get some voice turn-by-turn instructions. So I'm going to try this new app and see whether or not that works. Plus also I've got this new RAM mount in for my iPhone with my Tigra Sport waterproof case. Previously I had the Tigra thing sort of wrapped around here, this bit. Should go around here now. As I said previously, it was wrapped around here on the sort of at an angle, but now I've got this mount screwed on here, this RAM mount on a short ball arm. So we'll see how that goes. As it stands at the moment, you can see there, in fact it's bloody perfect. I love it in this position. Really good. Easy just to glance down at, like you would for your Speedo, but not in the way of everything. I think first things first, yeah, I definitely need some go juice. I think we'll get a drink and some chocolate. We'll stop a little bit on the route somewhere. Ooh, the agony of choice. Coke Zero Cherry. I do like cherry Coke, but I've never had Coke Zero Cherry. Although I have to say Coke Zero generally is better than Diet Coke in taste. Oh yeah, gonna have to go for some fruit gums. Well, so far I don't like this Moto Map app. Yeah, it's plotting and tracking my route, but I thought I'd read that it gave turn-by-turn voice instructions, which so far it hasn't. And also the orientation of the map, it's orientated always towards north, so it's not like a sat nav would be in terms of the direction you're travelling. So I'm coming up on my route to where I want to take a left off, but you know, you're having to transpose in your mind, okay, that's that's right. It's looking at it. It's just not for a quick glance at. It's not intuitive. So here I know this is where I'm going to go left. But as I said, not very intuitive. Because now, I don't know if you can see on the map there, it's kind of going across the map. I think it should orientate round to the direction that you're riding in. Now, the features of this app in terms of finding rides that other people have put in, etc., and tracking stuff is very good. I think it's about how it operates on the fly, so to speak. Well, we'll see how we get on for the rest of this ride. Might find that after a little bit of use, you get used to it. But at the moment, yeah, it just doesn't do what I need to do. So I'm going to enjoy the weather today. Not cold, but it's not baking hot. I have still got my thermal trousers on under my leathers, and I've got a thermal top and 2 t-shirts, so I'm layered up a little bit. That is where this bike is great. The roll-on power there. I was at about 45-ish, 50 in fifth actually. I didn't have to change down, rolled on, and I had enough oomph to safely make that overtake. And actually that brings me on to something that I was going to talk about from one of my previous videos, and shout out to Holderness Rider, who thank you for putting up a very detailed response to some of the issues that I've raised in my kind of 4,500, was it 4,500 mile update on the bike. What I liked, what I didn't dislike, or what I disliked. And one of the things I said on there that he fundamentally disagreed with was, I said that this is an ideal beginner's bike, as in, yeah, once you've got your license, your first big bike. And he disagreed with me completely, saying that he thought that that this had too much poke for a brand new rider. And I kind of understand what he's saying, because there is a bit of poke there. I mean, you know, something that weighs 200 kilos and has 85 horsepower, you know, you've got a reasonable power to weight ratio, and particularly off the line, you know, first and second, if you really rev it, it's a rapid machine. But oh, have I come off the route here? I have. You see, that's I'm going to stop talking about that for a sec. That's what I really dislike about this app, in that I couldn't really tell which way I was meant to be going. And before I know it, I've come off track. So I'm going to find a suitable place to spin around. Like here. Behind. Just do a quick U-E. Brilliant. Testing my slow speed control. back on track again. Hey! Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, I was talking about whether or not this has too much poke for a kind of beginner's first big bike, and yeah, and it was argued that this has, but I would argue totally the opposite. Where am I going here? I think I want to go left here. Again, I'm having to pay far too much attention to trying to work out where my route is. It's not not intuitive. Right, so has it got too much poke? Well, I'm going to continue to argue and say that no, it hasn't got too much poke, and that it is absolutely an ideal beginner's first bike, big bike. And the reason I say that is because, well, in the UK anyway, and the reason I say that is because, you know, with our licensing restrictions, is it now 24 that you have to be before you can have a full category A unrestricted license? At least 24, or 2 years. You have to have at least 2 years experience of riding a lesser bike. I know for me, when I did my test, that at my age I was able to do my full unrestricted category A license and jump straight onto any bike I wanted. So yeah, certainly if I had have had this bike in my late teens, I think I would have been quite silly, and I might not be talking to you now if that was the case. But I'm older, more mature, I've got responsibilities, kids, etc. And yeah, I like to have some fun, but that's my youthful over-exuberance has been tempered somewhat, shall we say. So, and actually, the one accident I have had on a motorcycle was actually on my 125, not on this, and that was due down to inexperience. But why do I say that I don't think this has got too much poke? The reason I say that is, I mean, if you think the old CBR650F, which this replaced, I think had something like 90 or 100 horsepower, approaching that, so it had a bit more go to it. So this, they've reduced the horsepower, but I think, as I said in my previous video, they've bollocks, I'm off the bloody track again. This is not turning out to be good. Yeah, fucking awful video. Very disjointed. Nice. So yeah, this it's 85 horsepower, which, as I think I said, is more than enough. But why I say it's ideal, I think, for someone on their first big bike is because the power delivery is so linear and so predictable. Unless you're being a complete and utter hooligan in silly weather conditions, so far I've not been able to spin up the rear. Yeah, it's gone a couple of times in the wet, marginally, but yeah, it's not going to catch you out all of a sudden. And I think with any bike is, yeah, you've got to be progressive with your inputs, throttle, braking, turning. If you are progressive, This bike really rewards you, and it's not gonna, you know, bite you on the arse and chuck you into the nearest hedge. I promise you that. But it is, the power delivery is very linear. Right, so I'm in 4th gear here at about 40 miles an hour. And if I want to roll on, very progressive, no problem whatsoever. Let off and it comes back. See, so in 4th gear, there, it's got reasonable pickup. Right, drop it down into 3rd gear, crack it open, progressive, see? Oh, there we go. Right, same speed again, drop it down into 2nd gear. See, there's not, it's, what I mean is it's really, really linear. It's not all of a sudden like, whoa, bang, and throwing you back off and, you know, forcing your eyeballs to the back of your head. Yeah, you drop it down the gears and crack the throttle right open, and you'll get good acceleration. But everything happens, you know, calmly and serenely. It's not frenetic. And I think that's exactly what you want as a relatively new and inexperienced rider. The power is very, very usable, and certainly I think the first time I got on this bike and rode it, it was a little bit scary. Yeah, never had the throttle cracked wide open. Now, yeah, 5,500 miles later, I'm reasonably used to it, and I'm finding that I hit the throttle stop more often. In fact, there are times now when I yearn for a little bit more poke. Right, so far this route's not been the most exciting. Too many 30 and 40 mile an hour speed limits. Nice road, good surface, twisty. It's an enjoyable, relaxed ride so far. Just been reminding myself of another reason why I think that there isn't too much poke on this bike for a novice rider, and that's yeah, no matter how aggressive you are with it, it won't lift the front wheel under power. I understand you can wheelie the bike. I never have done, but you have to you know, transfer the weight, slip the clutch, give it a little tug to lift it up. Whereas more powerful bikes will you know, lift the front wheel under power, particularly in 1st and 2nd. No, this won't. So even if you tend to be a little bit ham-fisted, you're not all of a sudden going to be reaching up towards the stars. Yeah, it wasn't, oh my god, acceleration, but it was enough to get quickly and decisively past stuff. And now there's a Pratt. Look at it, he's driving right up. I don't know if you can see in the camera there, right up behind my arse. God. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you? The bloke just nearly rear-ended me. Fucking arsehole. Right, here we are, Newlands Corner. I don't think we'll stop here. Lots of bikes there today. I think we'll just carry on and enjoy ourselves. Look at that view. South Downs. Wow. This is what I love about coming out on rides like this, is you get to go and drive through places that you wouldn't normally see or get to appreciate. Everyone is just a little gem. Yeah, I'm just enjoying riding gently around these roads. I don't need to be revving the nuts off it. In fact, the route I've chosen doesn't seem to be suited for that whatsoever. Road surface is a bit iffy. Oh. In fact, a lot of these roads around here would actually be far better suited to cycling. Coming through some of these villages and these. Be a lovely cycle ride. In fact, as that just shows, quite a few cyclists. Oh wow! For anyone who's never seen one of those before. Camera for taking your picture of if you jump through the level crossing signals. Very dangerous. Bramley Cricket Club needs new players. If you live locally in the Surrey area, Bramley, Godalming, round there, Guildford, and you like a bit of cricket, Bramley are looking for players. And that was a third gear overtake. No drama. Second gear. And we want it to be second. Right. It can be docile, but it can also be fun. But as I said, it's so linear and progressive. You never ever feel like it's out of control. Yeah. There's an example of where it will give you enough oomph to have fun, but in a perfectly contained way. And that's why I say that this this is just the perfect first big bike to get used to it on. Jeez. That Ford car nearly went into the side of that bus. God, talk about can't take a corner correctly. We have to be careful. The roads have been dry, a bit of rain. Slippery underfoot now. Hey! Stop. Right, so I'm back after the end of the ride. That was about 95 miles. And I've probably been out for 2.5, 3 hours, something like that. Did stop off just for a little bit of a break, have a drink. So, what was it like? Would I do it again? It was a very pleasant ride, I have to say, in terms of picturesque things. Yeah, nice leisurely ride out and around on a nice day. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would. Was it the best roads for riding a bike on? No, it wasn't, to be perfectly honest. There were some absolutely cracking roads, some good twisty stuff which I really enjoyed, but as a whole, no, the vast majority of the roads weren't ideal. Speed limits too low and too much traffic on them, so wasn't brilliant from that point of view. The one thing, again, to pick up on some of the comments from a previous video, is yeah, I've argued and said that one of the reasons I really like this bike is it's all day long comfortable, and I still maintain that. You know, for others that may not be the case, but for me, at 14 and a half, 15 stone, and 6 foot 1, 6 foot 1.5, about that sort of height, um, and my riding position and the way I like to ride, yeah, I've been pretty much on this bike only 15-minute break in about the last sort of 2.5, 3 hours, and I'm fine. No problems whatsoever. I feel like could go off and do the whole ride again without any problems whatsoever, and actually look forward to enjoying it. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it is comfortable. I really do feel that. Others may, that are slightly shorter or ride in a different position to me. My wrists aren't sore at all. My bum is, I haven't got numb bum, so yeah, really, really good. So all in all, that's what I've enjoyed today. Been good fun.